let's begin your adventures in Dreamland. Soft, surreal, and slightly cheeky sleep stories with awe and wonder. I'm Serene, your guide tonight. In a world of noise and endless options, you chose stillness with me. That means a lot. Now, we return to what we are. Sleep isn't an escape. It's a temporary return, one we can't always access or remember. In the sleep state, the senses soften, the ego fades, and what remains is more of who you truly are. We forget our names, bodies, nationalities, possessions, and frailties. We unconsciously enjoy the great freedom that is native to the soul. Pure awareness, curiosity, and at the deepest fundamental level, in both physics and spirit, we are made of light, untouched by time, existing outside of it, free, a wave in the ocean of being. So let go. You are returning to your purest form, freedom. Your story begins. The Bottomless Brunch resides inside our Dream Spoofs playlist, where we appreciate the silly side of life softly. 1. The calendar dings. You're standing in your kitchen, staring at the fridge, when it happens. The paper calendar. The one with the pictures of lighthouses or lavender fields or whatever your past self thought was aesthetically pleasing, makes a sound, a ding, a notification ding from paper. You stare at it. The calendar stares back, and there, in today's square, handwritten in your own handwriting, you don't remember writing. One word glows, like it's been highlighted by the universe itself. Brunch, 11 a.m. Don't be late. You blink. Either your refrigerator has achieved sentience, or brunch has become so important it's developed push notifications. You look down. You're already dressed. You don't remember getting dressed. You're wearing that outfit. You know the one that says, I woke up like this, but actually took 45 minutes of rejecting other options. Your keys are in your hand. Your sunglasses are on your head. You have a light jacket, even though you won't need it, because you always bring a light jacket and you never need it. That's the ritual. The calendar dings again, softer this time. A reminder, a nudge. Brunch calls. You grab your bag and head for the door. The fridge hums approvingly behind you. 2. The arrival and the table. The restaurant appears before you like a mirage designed by someone who really understands exposed brick. It's the kind of place that has Edison bulbs hanging from reclaimed wood beams, succulents on every table, and a chalkboard menu written in handwriting so perfect it must be illegal. The patio spills out onto the sidewalk, where people who look unreasonably well rested are laughing over glasses of something orange and sparkling. You spot your group immediately. Half of them are already there, waving, holding menus, saving seats with jackets and bags, and the unspoken aggression of people who arrived on time. The other half? The late stragglers. You know who they are. They know who they are. They're currently 5 minutes away, which means 15, and just parking, which means they just left their apartment. You don't judge. You judge a little. That's brunch. The host approaches, a person with a clipboard and the calm energy of someone who controls access to the most important tables in the known universe. Inside or outside? They ask. But your group isn't listening. Your group is already looking past the host, past the crowded patio, past the lesser tables by the bathroom hallway, toward the table. You know the one. Half indoors, half outdoors, corner position, shaded from direct sun, but still bathed in golden light. View of the street, but not too close to the street. Enough room for everyone, plus the late stragglers, plus the extra chair for bags and jackets that no one will sit in, but everyone needs. That one, your friend says, pointing with the confidence of someone who has manifested this exact moment. The host checks their clipboard, frowns, checks again. It's available, they say, almost surprised. Of course it is. Today is blessed. Today, the brunch gods are smiling. You settle into your seats. The chair is comfortable in that specific restaurant patio way. Not quite cushioned, but somehow perfect. The umbrella tilts at the exact right angle. A breeze passes through that smells like coffee and possibility. Someone checks their phone. It says it's October. You look around. The trees should be bare. The air should be crisp. But instead, flowers blooming, sun warming, that golden hour glow that usually only exists for 20 minutes, but seems to have settled in permanently. Feels like spring, someone says. It does. It always does here. Eternal spring, the only season brunch acknowledges. You don't question it. You never question brunch. 3. The waiter and the menu. He arrives like a sunrise that took an espresso shot. Good morning, besties. His name tag says Skylar. Of course it does. Skylar is wearing a shirt that's slightly too tight and a smile that's significantly too wide for someone who's been awake since 5 a.m. and genuinely seems fine with it. Welcome to brunch, Skylar says, distributing menus with the flair of a blackjack dealer. I'll be taking care of you today, and I am so excited about that. He means it. That's the terrifying part. Skylar is actually excited. Let me tell you about our mimosas, he continues, leaning in like he's about to share a secret that could change your life. Freshly squeezed, hand-picked oranges, single origin Florida sunshine, blessed by a citrus shaman on the morning of the spring equinox. Someone at your table nods like this is valuable information. We also have grapefruit, mango, and passion fruit variations, Skylar adds, all bottomless, all life-changing, all included in the brunch package. The brunch package, $32 per person. Your friend leans over and whispers, "Honestly, such a steal." It's not a steal. It's $32 for eggs and the privilege of day drinking before noon. But you nod anyway. Total steal, you agree. That's brunch law. The prices are outrageous, and the deal is incredible. Both things are true simultaneously. You don't question brunch. You open the menu. The items are listed in a font that's trying very hard to seem casual. The hangover cure, 2 eggs, bacon, hash browns, toast, and the will to live, $18. Eggs, Benny and the Jets, poached eggs, hollandaise, attitude, $22. The pancake situation, a stack of fluffy chaos, served with maple syrup and 0 regrets, $16. Avocado toast. Yes, that's why you can't buy a house. Smashed avo, everything bagel seasoning, a side of millennial guilt, $19. The protein plate, for people who are being good but still want to be here, $24. Chicken and waffles, a love story, exactly what it sounds like, $26. You read each one. You already know what you're getting. You've always known. But reading the menu is part of the ritual. You consider other options. You briefly pretend you might try something new. You order the same thing you always order. Skylar writes it down like it's the most fascinating order he's ever taken. Incredible choice, he says. Really, really incredible. He disappears toward the kitchen, still radiating joy. He's a lot, someone at the table says. He's perfect, someone else replies. Both things are true. You don't question brunch. 4. The bottomless mimosas. The drinks arrive before you're ready. But then again, you're always ready. Skylar sets them down with ceremony. Tall flutes, beaded with condensation, glowing orange, like tiny suns you're allowed to drink before noon. Freshly poured, Skylar announces, "Enjoy, besties." He vanishes. He's always vanishing and reappearing. That's his power. You lift your glass. The table lifts together. A brief clink. A chorus of cheers. Someone saying, "To Saturdays." Someone else saying, "To us." Someone definitely saying, "Let's get drunk," but in a classy, brunch-appropriate way. You sip. It's perfect. Tart and sweet and bubbly, with just enough champagne to remind you that this is technically an event. You take another sip, then another. You look away. Someone's telling a story about their week. Something about a coworker. Something about an email that should have been a meeting, or a meeting that should have been an email. The details blur. You look back at your glass. It's full. You didn't see anyone refill it. Skylar wasn't there. No picture passed your peripheral vision. but the mimosa is full again, orange and glittering, as if you never touched it. It's bottomless, your friend says, noticing your confusion. But how? It's bottomless, they repeat, slower, like that explains the physics. It doesn't, but you accept it. You take another sip. You look away. You look back. Full. This is the deal. This is the contract you signed when you sat down and agreed to $32 per person, which is honestly such a steal. Someone at the table is on their third glass. Someone else is taking a photo of their drink for reasons that feel important but will seem confusing later. Someone is doing the math out loud. Okay, so if the mimosas alone would be like $12 each, and we've had 4, that's already $48 of value. So really they're right. The math checks out. Brunch is always a good deal if you drink enough to justify it. You stop questioning. You start drinking. The glass is always full. That's the miracle. That's the promise. The late stragglers finally arrive, rushing to the table, apologizing, blaming traffic, blaming parking, blaming their roommate's alarm clock situation, blaming Mercury being in retrograde, even though no one checked if Mercury is actually in retrograde. You're late, someone says, delighted. We know, they say, collapsing into their chairs like they've just finished a marathon. Skylar appears from nowhere. Mimosas for the whole table? The late stragglers nod. The glasses arrive. The glasses are full. And brunch, finally, fully begins. 5. The gossip and the late stragglers. You're not a gossip. You want to be clear about that. You don't gossip. You don't engage in idle chatter about other people's lives, choices, or questionable relationship decisions. Except at brunch. Brunch does something to you. Brunch turns you into someone who leans in, someone who lowers their voice, someone who says, "Wait, tell me everything," like you're a detective and the mimosa is your badge. The food hasn't even arrived yet, and already someone is saying, "Okay, so you know how she was dating that guy?" You don't know. You barely know who she is. But you nod. You're invested now. And he was like totally not over his ex, and she found out because he still had her location shared. No. And she saw that he was at the ex's apartment at like 2 a.m. The table gasps. You gasp. A woman at the table next to you gasps. And she's not even part of this conversation. What did she do? Someone demands. The storyteller pauses, sips their mimosa, lets the tension build. This is performance. This is theater. This is brunch. The late stragglers are fully caught up now. They've been given the abbreviated version of everything they missed, which somehow took longer than the original telling. One of them is already contributing new information. Wait, I heard that he also... And suddenly, everyone's talking. Stories overlap. Names you don't recognize fly across the table like confetti. Someone's coworker did something unforgivable. Someone's cousin is making interesting choices. Someone's ex is engaged now, which is totally fine, and also how. You're participating. You're leaning in. You're saying shut up at appropriate intervals. You don't recognize yourself. Brunch has claimed you. It's wonderful. 6. The never-ending plates. The food arrives in waves. First, the appetizers no one ordered but everyone agreed to split. A basket of pastries, a fruit plate that seems decorative but will absolutely be demolished. Something involving goat cheese that Skylar highly recommends. Then, the mains. Your plate lands in front of you. It's perfect. Eggs exactly how you ordered them. Toast golden. Bacon crispy in that specific way that makes you believe in a higher power. You eat. You talk. You eat more. You finish your eggs. You look down. There are more eggs. You didn't order more eggs. Skylar didn't bring more eggs. But there they are, 2 new eggs, glistening, waiting, like they've always been there. You look around. No one else seems concerned. These pancakes keep multiplying, your friend says, poking at a stack that has definitely grown since it arrived. I started with 3. Now there's 5. That's the bottomless, someone else says, mouthful. I thought bottomless was just the mimosas. Bottomless is everything. You look at your plate. The bacon has regenerated. The hash browns have formed a second pile. A strawberry you definitely ate has returned, glistening with defiance. You keep eating. The plate keeps refilling. This should be alarming. It's not. It's brunch. Someone orders a side of hollandaise just to try. The hollandaise arrives in a small dish that never empties. Someone tests it, dipping, scooping, pouring, and the golden sauce remains at the exact same level, unbothered, eternal. This is insane, they whisper. This is $32, someone corrects. A steal. An absolute steal. The fruit plate, which should be decimated by now, has somehow restocked itself. New grapes, fresh melon, berries that weren't there before. It's like the plate is disappointed. You stop paying attention and decided to try harder. You eat until you can't. Then you eat a little more. That's the rule. Skylar appears, beaming. How's everyone doing? Need anything else? You need nothing. You have everything. You have too much. But still, somehow, a part of you whispers, maybe just one more pancake. The pancake appears before you finish the thought. Brunch provides. 7. The to-go box. Eventually, and this takes longer than it should, someone says the words, I think I need a to-go box. It's an admission of defeat. A beautiful, responsible defeat. You've eaten everything you can. The plate is still offering more. But your body has limits, even if brunch does not. Skylar materializes with boxes before anyone finishes asking. Already ahead of you, besties, he says, stacking the containers on the edge of the table like little cardboard promises. You open yours. It's larger than expected, somehow perfectly sized for exactly what remains on your plate. plus the extra pancakes you didn't ask for, plus the fruit that keeps regenerating, plus a little container of syrup that Skylar includes for later. For later, you repeat. For later, he confirms, with the certainty of a prophet. You pack up the leftovers, the bacon, the potatoes, that one strawberry that simply refuses to be eaten. It all fits. It all makes sense. Around the table, everyone is doing the same, boxing up the remains of a meal that technically never ended, preparing to transport the infinite into the finite. Same time next Saturday, someone asks. It's not really a question. The calendar already knows. The calendar has already dinged. Same time next Saturday, everyone agrees. Skylar returns with the check. $32 per person. A steal. You've all done the math. You've all justified it. You'd do it again. You will do it again. You leave a good tip. You always leave a good tip. Skylar has earned it. Skylar has maintained enthusiasm for 2 straight hours. Skylar is either a saint or a very convincing robot. Either way, 25%. Hugs are exchanged. Plans are confirmed. Someone takes a photo of the empty but still refilling table, just for posterity. And then, box in hand, mimosa warmth in your chest, the late stragglers finally on time for the goodbye. You head for the door. See you next Saturday, Skylar calls out. It's not a question. It's a prophecy. 8. Home. You blink. You're home. You don't remember the drive. You don't remember the walk. You don't remember opening your door, or taking off your shoes, or setting down your keys. But here you are, in your bed. Your head is... Wait. You look down. You're lying in bed, but your head is propped up on something. Something cardboard. Something familiar. The to-go box. You're using the to-go box as a pillow. This should be strange. It's not. It's perfect, actually. The box is the exact right height, the exact right angle. It smells faintly of maple syrup and Saturday morning, and the kind of happiness you can't manufacture, only stumble into. Inside the box, you don't have to open it to know. The food is still there. The pancakes, the fruit, the eternal strawberry, all of it waiting for a later that may or may not come. But you don't need it now. You're full, not just from the food, from the whole thing, the table with the perfect view, the late stragglers finally arriving, the gossip you shouldn't have engaged in but absolutely did, the mimosas that never emptied, the plates that never stopped giving, the calendar on your fridge. You can see it from here somehow, even though that's not how walls work. Glows softly. Next Saturday, same time. Of course. Your eyes close. The to-go box cradles your head like it was designed for this. Like every brunch you've ever had was leading to this moment. lying in your bed, full and warm and held by styrofoam and memory. The sounds of the restaurant fade, the clinking glasses, the overlapping conversations, Skylar's aggressive enthusiasm, all of it softening, dissolving, becoming the kind of quiet that only exists after too much of a good thing. You're not going anywhere. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. The brunch is over. The brunch is never over. The brunch lives inside you now, bottomless and eternal. Sweet dreams. Good night.